Since the verdict of the case between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard was given, the actress has been going from one problem to another regarding her finances and money. And while her legal team are out on interviews stating that the US legal system is flawed because she won the case in the UK, a professional lawyer with experience has come out to debunk all of those claims. So what exactly did this lawyer have to say that has put Amber in an even worse position? You'd expect that with everything that's already going on in Amber Heard's life, things couldn't get much worse, but it seems the professional just might have made things worse. And this wasn't malicious in any way. He just did a closer analysis of the UK trial she won and found so many faults and even some problems with the decision. The professional, Daniel Shen Smith, a barrister in the UK, recently took to his YouTube channel to do an in-depth analysis comparing the results of both cases, and he raised a lot of points which will probably destroy Amber even more. Starting his analysis, he mentioned that there are several major differences in the cases, ranging from the UK own being decided by a single individual who he said might have had some personal interest in the case.
The judge's son worked for Talk Radio, a sister company of The Sun, also owned by Rupert Murdoch, and Dan Wootton, also at that time at the very least, worked for the same place. This along with some other concerns about Amber going to some dinner party and so on. But as I said, I'm not going into those in this video. Rather, I'm going to look at the judgment,
as well as the discounting of several pieces of evidence. Explaining his point on that subject more, he mentioned that Amber was the defendant in the US trial and was subject to disclosure, as opposed to the case in the UK where she wasn't subjected to those same strict rules. In fact, Shen Smith categorically stated that he still stands strong on his opinion that she did not win the case in the UK because she wasn't even a party to it, as opposed to what her lawyers are going around saying. Still talking about the evidence being an integral point of difference in the cases, he spoke about Savannah McMillan. According to his analysis of the case, he revealed that Amber Heard had willfully lied to US immigration by telling them that her British personal assistant McMillan was just a friend and was not working unlawfully. And her former aide also corroborated that story in the UK court. The aide, Kate James, who was fired by the actress in February 2015, stated this and also claimed that the actress deliberately smuggled her dogs into Australia, leading her to be caught breaching quarantine rules. But we'll just put a pin in the Australian story for now. In her first witness statement, Ms. James said she had been asked by Ms. Heard in September 2014 to send a letter the actress had drafted to Homeland Security officials in the US about a woman named Savannah McMillan. She claimed Ms. Heard had hired the woman to work as a set assistant, but she said that when immigration officials held and questioned Ms. McMillan over her frequency of trips to the US, Heard produced a letter denying Ms. McMillan was working for her. In a written statement, Amber said, Savannah, a British citizen, had been held in immigration and questioned about the frequency that she had been coming and going from the USA. She then continued, stating that Savannah was a friend and that she could say truthfully and unequivocally that this allegation is entirely false.
It states as Amber Heard's assistant. Now, this was confirmed by Kate James, who had been Amber Heard's assistant in the United States. She said in her witness statement that the letter from Amber Heard falsely claimed that Savannah was just a friend and not an employee. Now, Kate James also appended to her witness statement a check made out to Savannah McMillan for $1,625. Some might take the firm view that Kate James would be in the best position to know whether Savannah was working for Amber Heard as her assistant in the United States, and secondly, that because there was a check attached to her witness statement would also prove that she was being paid by Amber Heard as her assistant in the United States. However, in response to this, Amber Heard said, "Since Savannah did not have much money, I occasionally gave her money."
Now, given that trials in the UK, according to the expert, are generally based on both sides telling the judge their own sides of the story and given their evidence to support their claims, with the end being that the judge simply chooses the one he prefers and gives reason for such, their credibility is essentially the basis of that choice. But this wasn't the case with Amber at all. In fact, the statement given by Kate James basically proves that Amber couldn't have possibly been a credible witness, and this was what the expert's argument was based on when Amber stated she was just giving McMillan money as a friend. The expert said,
"I don't accept this excuse," but ultimately saying that she wasn't working for her in the United States. Now, if you take the view that Amber Heard did lie to Homeland Security in this letter, that would be a significantly serious issue against her credibility. However, the judge in this trial simply said at paragraph 112, "I'm afraid that I did not find Miss James a satisfactory witness. She had been dismissed by Amber Heard in February 2015, and the circumstances of her termination still appeared to be the cause of rancor with Miss James." Now, in other words, the judge didn't believe Miss James because she'd been fired by Amber Heard, despite the fact that she attached to her witness statement a check made out to Savannah McMillan, which on most people's assessment would be some kind of proof that that was in fact the case. Now, just as a sideline, this also goes against one of the judge's way of approaching the evidence in this case. in that the judge said that someone coming to court to give evidence under oath made them a more reliable witness. So applying that approach, Kate James really should have been believed. Another side
From everything the expert mentioned in his analysis, it's pretty evident that there was some type of foul play in the entire thing, and that's probably why Johnny lost. But regardless of all this, the U.S. court has found her guilty of defamation, and let's see how she gets out of this one. Tell us what you think about this whole thing in the comments section.